Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Cinema Circle, the show where we talk and do movie reviews of all your favorite releases coming out of Hollywood. The show that is for the fans, by the fans. I'm your host for today, Mr. Senator VonJevy, and joining me as usual is Kiki SB.
Hey everyone.
Patricia Rostrulo.
What's up everybody?
And Anthony King.
What's up guys?
Today we're talking about Thor. Thor 3, Thor Ragnarok. Let's check it out.
How did this happen? Well, it's a long story.
So this one, the good is I think they humanized him a lot in this. Some of the comedy is there's good and bad, but I'll talk about the good. That's what helped humanize Thor in this movie, and I like the imagery of it because the first two were very dark. I loved Hela. Like visually, she looked amazing. I forget the other lady's name. I think the women in general in this movie.
Oh, Tessa Thompson.
Yeah, Tessa Thompson.
Great.
I think Valkyrie.
Yeah.
I think the women killed the movie.
Yeah.
They added so much to the film. If they weren't in it, I think it wouldn't be as good as it was. Hulk, obviously.
Yeah.
Hulk was amazing. There's a couple issues I had with Hulk, but for the most part, he was like, it was amazing to see both of them. So yeah, that was my good.
while it's a Thor movie, Hulk was my favorite part. I think, I mean, there were some things that I'll mention in the bad when it comes to Hulk, but I like that he was in there because I personally didn't care for Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk before. Like, I preferred Ed Norton, but I think this movie made me love him. And I don't know, he was just funny. And I feel like he was the comedic, not the comedic relief because everybody was funny, but he was the parts in the movie that I liked the most. So
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys know that I love me a good villain. So I think Hela was so good.
She's so
like
good.
her entrance was just powerful, and every time she put on her crown, it was just like, I'm here to F-ish up. And I love that. Like, she was so powerful. Like, Thor couldn't even stand a chance against her. He had, like, it was no competition.
She's ruthless too.
She was
She killed his
ruthless.
crew.
She was evil, and I loved her, like, hands down. Valkyrie's entrance and her being a drunk was hilarious.
So funny.
Like, it was hilarious. I love that they gave everybody their own little twist.
Yeah.
And another thing I really like, they made Hulk talk.
Yeah.
Like,
he talked
Hulk
a lot.
actually like said full sentences, not just Hulk smash and like you know. So like that, it gave Hulk personality. You know what I mean?
The good for me was honestly Hela. Probably the best villain that Marvel's ever had. Definitely top 3 villains, I feel. I've always loved Mark Ruffalo as Hulk. Like, I think the 3 different versions of Hulk that I've seen, he's definitely my favorite. I connected with him more, but maybe that's just because I like Mark Ruffalo, I don't know. But he plays him really well, so I really liked seeing Hulk again in this movie. And I think it was very fitting. And I like the fact that he spoke as well.
Sorry, another thing. I like the fact, spoiler alert, I love the fact that Hela broke Thor's hammer. She just said, "What is this?" and crushed it with her hands. And I also like the fact that we saw the other side of Thor, where his father was telling him that it wasn't the hammer that gave him his strength. The strength, the hammer was to help him hone his powers. You know what I mean? So I thought that was like brilliant.
That one
So
scene.
now we'll see Thor fight when they fight in Infinity War.
I was just about to say, I think it's good that he doesn't need the hammer.
Yeah.
Oh
Infinity
yeah.
War.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because we've seen him with the hammer all the time.
All the time.
Infinity War is gonna be a whole nother level
Yeah.
without it.
Now we'll see his true strength as a god.
I love the fact that they upped Thor's strength because we need to know that these guys are going to be able to handle themselves when time comes.
For sure.
This-
That's so valid.
It really put Thor in the front line of what's about to happen, so that's cool. All right, so let's move on to the bad. Who wants to go first?
It was funny, I get it, but it was a little too much, I feel. Some of the characters that were put in there for comedic relief, I think they could have done without him. Also, the storyline was weak.
Yeah, so weak. It
So
didn't
weak.
contribute at all to the universe.
Yeah, I feel like they went for a comedy more than like an actual story in a movie. Because basically, what's the movie? They have a sister and she wants the power back.
Yeah.
And all that stuff in between is just comedy. right? So that's what I felt. Hulk, I love Hulk, but he, like you said, you liked how he talked a lot. I felt it was too much sometimes. It was
They
like
kind of made him sound like a little
stupid.
kid.
They made him sound stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's not stupid. He's Hulk smash, right?
Yeah.
So they crossed the line. It was good at a certain point, and then they just kept going, and I felt that that didn't help his character, and they just made him look stupid.
Yeah. The comedy for me was like in the opening scene, it was like after 10 seconds, it was another one-liner.
Yeah.
Another one. I'm like, is this whole movie gonna be like this?
Yeah, and it was.
Yeah,
And it turned out the whole movie was
Yeah.
like that. And once I realized that, I kind of just let it go and accepted it. But that to me was something I didn't like. It was too much comedy, too much cheese. You couldn't really feel for the people because there was so much laughter going on.
Yeah.
Like, there was no emotional connection with the characters, I feel like. So I didn't like the comedy. I didn't like how
It just didn't fit.
it just didn't fit for the first two Thor movies. Especially with the first and second being so serious in comparison, it just didn't fit to me.
I kind of left the movie feeling like I was missing, like something wasn't there for me. I don't know if the trailers did that, because I watched all the trailers, and you know, you don't get what you see in the trailers all the time.
One thing I did not like about this though is they really, and I'm not even talking about the speech, they dumbed down Hulk's power. Who are you to hold the Hulk? The Hulk who's always angry. And the Hulk who is stronger, the angrier he is, the stronger he is. So I don't understand how they held him captive and he was their bitch. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Now, for him to fight Thor, I'm just gonna, for my own sanity, when it comes to the Hulk, I'm just gonna say that, you know, maybe he was holding back because he saw his brethren in there, and Thor was really pulling on those banner strings. But at the same time, I can't really do that because Mark Ruffalo said, oh, usually me and him both have the hands on the wheel, but I was completely gone. I was like in the trunk.
But you know what? They didn't show Thor beat Hulk.
Yeah.
No.
Because they know they couldn't show us that.
Right.
So you kind of have to accept it. You know, he's been Hulk for 2 years, and you kind of have to like accept it for the movie, like try and take it what it is, because or else we know there's no competition. So what would we be watching?
I mean, they did a disservice to Hulk. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go to our verdict.
I give it a 7. I think, like, compared to the 3 movies, this one was the best for me. I get, like, the comedy and stuff I get, it was, like, it kind of took away, that's why it's a 7. Like, usually Marvel movies I rate a little higher. But the comedy took away from it. But I enjoyed the movie. I thought Hela was amazing.
Yeah, I feel like it was really galactic, and when we think of the galaxy, we think of colorful. I'm gonna give this movie an 8. Not comparing it to any of the other Thor movies, just this movie as is. The entertainment aspect was really high.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it the same thing. I'm gonna give it an 8. I think, despite the corniness, despite all of that, it's a movie I would watch again. I would sit down and actually just watch it and be entertained by it because it was actually a good movie to watch.
Yeah.
For the MCU, it's not necessarily a good movie, but to take back something that I said in the pre-show, I said this movie might be one of the best in the MCU. I take that back.
I'm gonna give this movie a 7. I like this movie. I still like the first Thor movie better. I think this one comes second, and then Thor: The Dark World.
I say one thing
Yeah, go
that I
ahead.
forgot to mention.
Yeah, go ahead.
In the end, by the time we see that Thor and Loki had a good relationship, something that came to my head is I feel like Loki will die in Infinity War.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
That's the question I was going to ask
I
you
will
guys.
think-
not.
Okay,
I think-
they have an Infinity Stone, right?
Yeah.
And what happened to it? Asgard was destroyed. The
Yeah.
last person to see it was Loki. So he has to have.
He
took
He
the
has
test.
to have it.
Yes, because he looked
He was
at
the
it.
Yeah, he did. He did. He
was
paused.
the last
And
one.
they made
Yeah.
that so clear.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, he was the
Clear.
last one to see it, and I remember turning to Anthony and being like, "Who has the stone? Who has it?" Because if Asgard's
Yeah.
demolished, somebody took it.
Yeah.
And Loki was the last one.
I
So
never
he
thought
has
about
it,
that,
yeah.
but I did notice when he
Yeah.
stopped and he looked
Yeah,
at it.
I
Yeah.
noticed that too. I'm like, why?
Because they're not
I
going
thought
to
he was
destroy
gonna use it.
Asgard and not
Yeah.
have the stone.
And I mean,
so he has
That
to
makes
have
sense
it.
because why would he just look at it and
Yeah.
not use?
He has to have, and Loki, that's his character.
Yeah.
He's so like sneaky.
sly, yeah.
So
He's
he
so
has
sly.
to have the thing. He has to have the
Oh, he's
stone, and he's definitely
He's
gonna
gonna
die.
he's gonna take it to Thanos.
Yeah, he's gonna
so?
take it to him. Yeah.
Maybe. Because Loki is only interested in his own,
Yeah.
you know, himself.
I think he's gonna take it to him, and that's where he's gonna die.
Now I just got amped.
Yeah.
Now I'm just ready. I'm ready.
Yeah,
to
because that was
let it
when
away.
when we mentioned like they
Yeah.
had added nothing to the story. I'm like the stone. He has the stone.
Mm.
Yeah. I totally forgot.
Yeah. Bye, Loki.
All right, so we're gonna end it off right there. That was interesting. So you guys are gonna have to join us again when it comes down to the pre-show for Infinity Wars. What will be happening in season 3. All right, Kiki.
Don't forget to follow us on our Instagram at cinema_circle. And if you have any questions or just want to hit us up, you can send us an email at cinemacircle1@gmail.com. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel Cinema Circle.
All right, from everyone here at Cinema Circle, I want you guys to stay blessed and always keep it 1-0-0.
Peace. Hey everyone, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Also click like, share, and subscribe.